For me, there is nothing like the pursuit of the Rocky Mountain elk. A few years back, I caught a glimpse of a beautiful bull, found 2 years of his sheds, and it became my obsession to bring his life full circle. One strategy that I use a lot for hunting elk especially is, instead of just running all over the countryside and exhausting myself, is get to a high point, start glassing as the light starts coming up, and you start looking for those blonde bodies. You know, once I find my animals, that's when I really hone in on them. I try to watch them until they bed down if I can, and when they bed down, I know where they're at. I know where they're going to be for a few hours. These animals are not always in the thick timber. They're out there in the open, they're out in the burns, and they're feeding where they can feed. There's some elk right there. Well, that looks like a good 6-point bull right there. As it's getting later here, I think that's probably where he's going to bed down. All right. It's important, you know, glassing from a couple miles away to get on it. It might be 1,700 feet in vertical feet like it was this year for us to get up to them. You never know, there might be another hunter just over the ridge that's coming through, not knowing it's there, and bust them out of there. So it really is important to get on them as quick as you can and really work hard in getting in on them. I don't know, that's a long ways. I think we better get moving. I think we better head on over, drop down, get across, and see if we can get up on those bulls. We got some good topography there to work with. Stay on the leeward side, follow the wind, and work our sneak on up there, take our time. All right, let's make it happen. And I don't want to make it sound easy, like you just see a bull and run over and just get him killed. It's not that easy, you know. It's a once-a-year deal for me. For many people, it's a once-in-a-lifetime deal when they see these animals, and you got to be in shape. Your average Joe just can't jump up off the couch, come hunting season, go run up the mountain and go harvest an elk the first day they get out. It doesn't happen. You got to head up the mountain looking for other animals on your way up, but knowing your destination point. You got mule deer you're seeing, and you bust that mule deer, it might bust your bulls out of there or your elk out of there, and time to go find and start from scratch again. Creeping up on that bull, every time I took a step, I could see a little more real estate on that hillside, a little more of the slope, and I thought he was right there. I couldn't just charge in there, and finally got in as far as I dare get, and I could see the whole area, and I didn't think he was even there anymore. I thought he was gone. It's really important picking landmarks. You really need to pick those landmarks, whether it be a rock. In this case, it was a cross of snags, and I knew it was right below it, and looked and looked and looked and never saw him, and just kept looking, and he appeared. He just turned his head, and that's all it took.
Montana Full Circle is brought to you by Buffalo Bore Ammunition, Montana Department of Agriculture, Rocky Mountain Natural Beef, Leupold, Zenick, and these other fine sponsors. Buffalo Bore Ammunition is premium grade ammunition. It is the most powerful and accurate ammunition made anywhere. Our loads are purpose designed. When the moment of need arises, you are prepared. We make the world's best self-defense pistol ammunition as well as hunting ammunition. Order factory direct at buffalobore.com. This segment of Montana Full Circle is brought to you by the Montana Department of Agriculture and Valley County Weed District. For more information about noxious weeds and vegetation management, contact the Montana Department of Agriculture or your local noxious weed department.
Did a little more glassing on them, and sure enough, it was the bull we were after. Probably within 100 yards, 110 yards of them. Without glassing ahead of time, I never would have went into that area. And if I would have came up and started glassing an hour after daylight, I never would have saw that bull. You know, before he bedded down, he glowed right there in the middle of that regen. As soon as he bedded down, he just disappeared. We were going to start running into a problem with daylight and getting him out of there, and so it was a race against the clock. Tried cow calling, he wouldn't get up. Did some bad cow calls, he wouldn't get up. They can absorb that lead so easy and just keep going, and it's amazing. A lot of people they'll shoot an elk, watch it drop, start celebrating, cheering, and all this kind of stuff. Go back, animal's gone.
I think it should be just right up here. I'm not quite sure.
We're a little concerned about trying to get him out of here, but as my dad always says, he says, create the problem and then figure it out. And sure enough, we created a problem now. So we got a long haul downhill. Going to be a little hard on the knees, but we'll try to get him quartered up and hauled out. But all right, good bull, will be a good eating bull. Public lands here in southwest Montana. Good meat for the family, and couldn't ask for any better meat than this. This is how we like to do it out here. Try to help supply ourselves for food and try to be as sustainable as we can, and time to get to work. This case, he was in some regen. It was thick, a lot of nasty down stuff. He was not exactly the most fun bull I've ever gotten out, but that's it. You create the problem, you get him out, and the victory is that much sweeter when you get him out. That's the end of the day when you're tired and you got to dig deep and just keep pushing one foot in front of the other.
Well, last load, head on down to the truck. It's gonna get dark here in a hurry.
Just getting out and enjoying, throwing my little girl on my back and taking her out here too. She enjoys it as much as I do.
Yeah, I was wondering when Adam told me that he and Amber were pregnant. I was kind of wondering if Adam had it in him to be a stable father. It hasn't seemed to slow him down a lick. He just grabs up his little girl and throws her on his back and takes her horn hunting right with him. And
I do a lot of weed work in the summer, but winter time is my time to spend a lot of time with my little girl, and I'm not your average babysitter. Instead of sitting down and watching cartoons or something, you know, we're always outside running around.
If it's raining, snowing, she has no choice in it. But I think it's good for her, and she's loved it, you know. She falls asleep in the backpack. He always puts sunscreen on her or bundles her up cozy.
Dropped not too terribly long ago, definitely fresh from this year.
And I think that's probably one of the biggest reasons that Adam and I get along so well. If it's not hunting season, we are up in the morning glassing for bulls to try and find shed horns in spring, or we're looking for that next spot that we're gonna hunt.
Well, we missed you.
We missed you too. I sure missed Ava.
Chris and I have been working together now for 6 years for the Forest Service. We've become real good friends. We've done a lot of shed hunting.
I'm not lying. We really were looking for weeds. I promise you.
Yeah, it's always a friendly competition between Adam and I. Some days he finds all the horns, and some days I find more.
I found this one.
Oh, you don't get that one?
No, Chris found that guy. Look at that.
Every shed that you pick up has its own story. Just getting a snapshot of where he was standing that 1 second of his life. And it only makes you wonder where he might be the next year. Will he come back and be in the same spot? And those are the things that keep you up at night thinking about. Did he get killed by a wolf or a lion or a hunter? And then when you come back and find that bull second or a third or a fourth year in a row, it brings you full circle of his life. And
I don't know whatever happened to him. Hopefully he's still alive. It's a great way to see what kind of animals survive the winter, what kind of animals you're looking at for next year, as well as, you know, picking these antlers up and comparing them year to year. It's neat when you're able to get the same animal's antlers for the last 3-4 years.
If you want to provide hunters with more opportunities than anyone else, you have to be willing to go where nobody else has been. The Apex Ground Blind from Zenick has gone to the next level to maximize shooting opportunities with the use of a window system that puts the Apex Ground Blind at the top.
This segment of Montana Full Circle is brought to you by Rocky Mountain Natural Beef. Find us on Facebook to order now.
It was a family day to go pick a Christmas tree up, and I had asked the wife, you know, and I said, oh, do you mind if I go for a quick little glass this morning? And she's like, you already got your elk. I said, I know, but, you know, Chris still needs to get his elk.
it was getting down towards the end of the season. There was 2 days left in the season.
I glassed a giant bull, and it turned out to be this bull that I've been watching for the last 3 years. Beautiful bull, nice big G3s on him, nice swords on him, and he just a monster. We were able to have some phenomenal footage of him last winter as well, just trudging through the deep snow. We had a harsh winter last year. And
he said he was in a moral dilemma, is what I remember him saying. And I knew right off when he said that where he was coming from. It was the bull that he had picked up the sheds from the last couple years from. And
I see one.
I know if I'd been watching a bull for the last 3 years and had him scoped, and that bull kind of becomes family to you.
That's him. There's the other side. See that little bump?
And I'm not sure I would do the same thing. I would.
Told the wife that we are going to try to go get this bull. She wasn't exactly excited with me, but you know, she ain't buying it. This is, you know, a once in a lifetime deal. It's a monster bull, and this is kind of one of my get out of jail free cards. And
we think we've got a good plan of attack, and we're gonna go give him a try. Looks like a heck of a bull. Ready.
We were working up the hill, and we got to the low saddle that we had picked out to make the shot from. From looking at him from afar, we figured it was around 500-yard shot, and I ranged him. It was 450 yards, and I felt super confident with that shot. Practicing a little bit further just makes you a lot more confident with that 450, 500-yard shot.
each person has a different distance that they feel comfortable with, and it's very important you stay within that so you don't wound animals. But a bedded shot is about as ethical as it gets in my eyes.
Yeah, that branch is like right on lungs. Maybe we can get to that next big stump there. Oh, if he stays laying, we'll gather up and give it a minute.
He was bedded broadside. I had his full vitals. I knew there was no way that he was going to be able to move before the bullet got there, and I see no reason not to take that shot. So I finally got to the position where I wanted to be, and I had a good clean shot. We got all the timber that was in the way of his vitals finally got moved around enough to where I could get a clean shot at him. And I got all set up, the bipod's ready, and I was about to take the shot, and he decided to lay his head back and go to sleep. And he laid his antlers right on his vitals.
Montana Full Circle is brought to you by Buffalo Bore Ammunition, Montana Department of Agriculture, Rocky Mountain Natural Beef, Leupold, Zenick, and these other fine sponsors.
Leupold Gold Ring optics are built to perform at the highest level.
Every shot, every hunt,
every competition,
every situation.
They're guaranteed for a lifetime of performance.
Because failure is not an option.
You need total confidence in every moment.
Something other optics can't deliver.
That's the power of a true lifetime guarantee.
And 650 of us stand behind it forever.
Closed captioning provided by Bitterroot Brewing. After the hunt, enjoy Montana's last best brew.
Got all set up, the bipod's ready, and I was about to take the shot, and he decided to lay his head back, and he laid his antlers right on his vitals. So it was probably about a minute's worth of wait, but it felt like an eternity.
Smoked him. Stay on him.
It appeared that the bull was out cold, but I knew better. I've seen it more than once, where you shoot them and everybody's high-fiving, and you turn around and look and the bull is gone and you have no idea even what direction that he went.
And sure enough, he tried to gather his feet. He went about 20 yards.
It took me a second to gather myself and realize that he was actually taken, and I'm not sure who was more excited, Adam or myself.
I see movement.
I can't remember a time I was that excited. That was just, it's one of those bulls I've been watching for so long, and to be able to have that come full circle, it was awesome. It was a great experience.
Yeah, we got it all taken care of in one load. It's worth it now not to have to go back up the hill. Yep, for sure.
I spotted him on the mountainside and just see the butt of a blonde elk there, and sure enough picked his heads up and got the spotting scope on him and saw these G3s, and there's no mistaking it. I've never seen a bull like this around here that got G3s that are 18 inches long. Pretty excited to be able to see a good ending to this with sheds of the same bull for the last 2 years, so heck of a bull, man.
Yep, thank you. It was fun, for sure.
That's awesome. I'm not going to lie, I'm a little sad to see it go, but if we were to let him go, who knows? A lion might have killed him the next day, or wolves might have got him this winter, or he made it through another year and been just that much bigger, but you just never know.
Let's go see how it looks compared. Oh my gosh, look at how much more he grew. His swords. Holy cow, look at the beam length on him now. He gained 4 inches in beam length.
Came back down to Adam's place afterwards, and he had the set from 2 years previous and a single from the previous year. So he ended up giving me the sheds that he had found from the previous years. So speaks mounds for Adam's character.
You know, every time I pick up big sheds, it's like mine. But we spent so much time together, horn hunting and stuff, and it's back and forth who has the better day. But at the end of the day, he harvested that bull. Those antlers were his, and he's pretty excited to have them. Be able to have 3 generations of a bull.
He's put on some nice mass and some length on all of his tines, and I mean, just a gorgeous bull. I mean, onto his beam, he's added on 3-4 more inches, and I mean, just fantastic bull. I was a little concerned about getting home after we harvested that bull. It didn't exactly make it the noon that I was telling her, so we could go get a Christmas tree, and she'll understand. She will. I hope. Wait for it.
I've been watching that bull for the last 3 years, put I don't know how many hours and days into that bull for looking for him, finding his antlers. 3 generations of that bull. There's no way that she could have been upset.
But look how big he is. Look at this thing.
I'm gonna go up and look for this elk. See this antler? See this antler? I'm gonna go get this elk. I'm like, okay, right. Sayonara Christmas tree.
Ava, this is our antler that we found this year. This big one. Yeah.
And to see Ava interact with that, come on out and just start crawling all over the antlers and stuff. We had to be a little careful with her with all those tines sticking out, but she thought that was the neatest thing in the world. And that's what it's about.
The redneck jungle gym, huh? Only daddy.
She was playing on the antlers like a little jungle gym, and life is good.